Hello everybody, I'm in the kitchen about to make something to eat, and I wanted to give some words of advice for all their worth. And it is this: whatever is happening on the world stage, consider that what's happening on the spiritual world is actually the exact opposite, because there is an inversion here. What's happening here is an inversion. So for instance, the evil rewarded, and good people oftentimes go unnoticed. So, first of all, let's take a look at the current situation with this. Now we have the crown chakra, and the crown chakra actually is opening and gaining more information via the sun and other celestial bodies. And there was an alignment with Venus, Sagittarius, and with Saturn, Venus, and Jupiter. And one can look at Venus as representative of the great mother goddess in all of her forms. One can look at Saturn as perhaps the negative male. One can look at Jupiter, especially through myth, that Jupiter is the home of Juno, or the male god, the positive god. It is said in planetary tantra, which I follow loosely via the work of John Lamb Lash, that Jupiter is this gaseous planet that broadcasts and sends information, plasma as well, that is assisting in the reclaiming of the mother goddess on this planet, the Gaia Sophia, and also how women's bodies and women's just being present in your divine femininity are actually the ones who are we're doing this sort of like sending out of signal. The males are protectors. The males are our protectors. The females are the broadcasters. And men do a lot more than that. For simplification purposes, it is through the female and the male divine union that one can actually access higher levels of consciousness, which is why the inversion on this planet is the perversion of such a thing. Pornography, over-sexualizing women, taking sex and turning it into a weapon, a desensitization thing such as circumcision, and also giving sex education here in the States well before a child is emotionally equipped to handle such information. It's completely unnecessary, and the information is disinformation. So whatever is done on the societal norm is actually a perversion of what needs to be done. Women need to realize, young women and men growing up as boys and girls need to recognize and acknowledge that sexuality is very, very sacred and very, very powerful, and it is not to take lightly. Now, this isn't a lesson in sexuality. I just wanted to tell you that I do not pay attention to the news because it is a distraction from what is happening, which is the broadcasting of information that's coming through us, to us and through us, that is providing us with what we need for our accelerated spiritual development. That is why they said not to be outside. They kept people in because you get it through the photonic transference from the sun and other celestial bodies of energy. Okay? So the boosters, we are receiving booster. So you receive a boost from the earth when you align with it. You see how this is all like, mind effery. If it's happening here on the planet as a physicality, such as booster 1 and 2 after shot 1 and 2, then you know that we've actually had an influx of energy in the planet by our intended God, by the unmasked and unmarked religions that were displaced when we were taken over by the alien parasites that are running through the elites and running through the programs and societal engineering that will one day be able to be looked at almost as if it never happened. Okay? So I just got through a narcissistic relationship for 10 years. And it is, even with all the nightmares and the funny stories, I might add, I can honestly say to you that it's as if it never happened. Yeah. And now I can go forward with the intention that my soul design is. All right? We are here on this planet to love the divine with all of our being. That's why when they put things in the Bibles, the books, like you are to love your God with all your heart and all your whatevers, it's essentially we serve the divine by being aligned with it. When you align with the divine, you feel mighty fine and things come out, perfectly. So whatever is happening in the physical world, the inversion, which is the correct way of seeing it, just like Odin was the upside down guy for the runes, hanging upside down, the fool hangs upside down on the tarot. It's inverted here. Everything's inverted and things that are beautiful are perverted. So hold fast and faithful to what's happening in your heart, allowing more and more into your crown, grounding to the earth, bringing in more and more that divine female energy, whether you are a masculine being or a feminine being. And we all know that to work a battery, you only need a plus and a minus. You don't need all these different variations. Okay? So lots of love. Be in the joy of your being and continue with your work in progress. And yeah, Antarctica, yes, Antarctica is probably where the landmass is. That is, I believe, has like a Shangri-La. I believe there's warm springs there, and it keeps a temperate climate, and they can actually grow food. Why else would the world governments make it illegal for anybody to go there? Because the world governments, and we know this, are all ruled by the parasites that have infected the minds and the hearts of these non-empathetic entities running around acting like world governors and leaders. Their time is up. Their gig is up. And so keep the heart open, maintain the love that you have for your life, the appreciation to the earth that you have for the being of her feminine presence as the mother embodied in the planet. And of course, hold fast to the truth that the intended God, the intended masculine energy, is returning in balance with the female. Yes.